Angola is the name given to kings in Kimbundu language, one of more than 60 languages which can be heard in present-day Angola. Located in the western part of southern Africa, its 5,000 kilometers of land border share frontiers with Congo-Brazzaville, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia and Namibia. Following 5 centuries of Portuguese colonization, Angola became an independent country in 1975 and has retained Portuguese as its official language. The country currently has more than 13 million inhabitants, a very small population if we consider that its area is 1,270,000 square kilometers, twice the size of France. From Cabinda to Cunene, Angola's 18 provinces offer a vast and diverse landscape for visitors. Its natural wealth, water, oil and mineral resources make Angola one of the African countries with the greatest potential. Luanda, with more than 4 million inhabitants, is the country's capital and administrative and financial centre. The city, which was in its day considered the loveliest and most lively on the west coast of Africa, is today beginning to recover the lifestyle which gave it its fame. Luanda was founded in 1575 by the Portuguese captain Paulo Dias Novais, who disembarked here accompanied by a crew of 700 and established the first centre of Portuguese influence. The first city built by Europeans on the west coast of Africa, it soon became an important port, not only for the distribution of products from the interior, but also as a departure point for slaves destined for Brazil or North America. The port of Luanda and its city would attract a wide variety of people and cultures, and this mix would create a truly unique society with its own lifestyle, which can still be seen today.
Extinguishing is our motto.
The best food in Angola is fungi.
From the desert through the savannah to the lush tropical rainforests, Angola offers the opportunity to see all of the continent's landscapes without leaving this one country. The world, we can speak of Africa's best kept treasure. You only need to travel a short way from the city of Luanda and take in the vista from the viewpoint of the moon to discover this for yourself.
Kalandula.
1,600 kilometers of endless beaches are still untouched by tourism. An average temperature of 24 degrees and the infinite caprices of nature make Angola a tourist power eager for investment and visitors.
África e o mundo, a independência de Angola.
On the 11th of November 1975, after several centuries of struggle against the Portuguese, the first president of Angola, Dr. Agostinho Neto, declared independence. This moment was commemorated in one of his poems. With dry eyes against this irresistible fear of our Africa, which we inherit from massacres and lies, we return to Africa, stars of irresistible brilliance, with the word written in our dry eyes, liberty. The hasty departure of the Portuguese created an enormous political void, destroying any possibility of a smooth transition to independence. This instability made Angola the final setting for the Cold War, attracting the attention of foreign powers, such as the United States, the Soviet Union, China, and Cuba. Foreign intervention lasted more than 2 decades and led to such complex situations as Cuban troops guarding American oil facilities. The aggressors were Angolan rebels, who were in turn supported by the United States government. The civil war lasted until 2002 and would result in an entire generation of Angolans knowing nothing but war.
Eu gostaria de imaginar.
I'd like to imagine the future of Angola in an extremely peaceful way. In a country with few people, an immense territory, and many things to be done on every level, it has everything it needs to be a producer. I believe Angola has much room for creation before it.
In 1979, Agostinho Neto died. He was succeeded by the engineer José Eduardo dos Santos.
Não é uma substituição fácil. Nem tampouco me parece uma substituição possível. É apenas uma substituição necessária. A luta continua e a vitória é certa.
I think it's necessary, after 26 years of war, that we engage in some serious reflection so that we do not find ourselves in a situation which might lead back to war.
Today, Angola is enjoying a political stability. It has a liberal economy and is committed to social development. The country has good relations with its neighbours and the rest of the world. It is a member of the African Union, the Southern African Development Community, and the Common Market of Eastern and Southern Africa. As the second biggest petroleum producer in sub-Saharan Africa, the country plays a vital geostrategic role in the oil development in the Gulf of Guinea. For foreign investors, there are a multitude of opportunities in areas such as infrastructure, industry, minerals, agriculture and tourism. Angola's economy is growing at a spectacular rate. United Nations estimates put Angola's growth at 12% for this year, one of the highest rates of economic growth in the world. Monetary policy during the past 3 years has stabilized this nation's currency and reduced the rate of inflation by more than 300%. A clear example of this environment ripe for investment is Coca-Cola. The American multinational has invested more than $60 million in Angola. The Chinese company Guangdong Overseas Construction has invested almost $10 million. The German multinational Volkswagen has announced a future investment of $48 million. Angola has 8 ports. The most important are Luanda, Lobito and Namibe. Its principal exports are oil, diamonds, fish, wood and coffee. Benguela Railroads plan to connect the port of Lobito on the Atlantic coast with the rail system of neighbouring Zambia. With domestic and international support, $11,000 million will be invested in this project. At present, 15% of Angolans have access to electricity. Hydroelectric facilities generate 2/3 of the country's electrical capacity. Kapanda Dam, in the province of Malange, promises to double that capacity. With its powerful rivers, Angola is betting on a future in hydroelectric power. Angolan public television and the national radio dominate the country's airwaves. The public television operates 2 networks during most of the day. The radio broadcasts its programs via 6 local, 18 provincial and 7 regional stations. In addition to Portuguese, it offers programs in many of the country's other tongues. Angola's enormous agricultural potential is still largely untapped. The United Nations estimate that the country has between 5 and 8 million hectares of land, ideal for agriculture and ranching. The country's varied climatic zones make it possible to grow many different crops, such as tubers, grains, tropical and citrus fruits, cotton and vegetables. This tradition of farming is making a recovery and has been defined as a national priority.
In other news, Angola has banned Islam, claiming that it clashes with its customs and state religion. The Angolan government says Islam is not a religion but a sect, and as part of the ban, all mosques will be destroyed in the Christian-majority country. According to the Islamic community of Angola, there are more than 80 mosques and about 500,000 Muslims in the country, and the number is growing. Angola's culture ministry says the houses of worship of other faiths, which have not been legalized, will also be demolished. Angola is the first country in the world to ban Islam.